Travis Smiley the other day, and he was interviewing Terrence Horn, and he was talking about how hard a time George Lucas had getting this movie. You know, I think he felt like a minority. He was having so much problem. He went to all of the movie studios, and nobody would support him. So he decided to put this thing on with his own funds. And fortunately, his significant other, Melody Hobson, had some significant connections. She was a heavyweight by her own right. She incidentally was black, but she had connections with Oprah Winfrey and a few other folks like that that helped him out. And he was able to pull this thing off. Now, I mind you, I've heard a lot of criticism from some of the critics. I saw one thing, and the critic gave it a rating of 34, and the audience gave it a rating of 81. So much for the critics. But some of the people complaining about it didn't talk about the before they went overseas or after they got back. Well, hell, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes as it is. Look while you're ahead. This is an opportunity for 2 more movies, really. And but this is a Hollywood version of true stories. That I might comment one thing. That they talk about red-tail pilots. You hear the people talk about Tuskegee Airmen. Dick Rutledge was one of the first Tuskegee Airmen in the country. He went to Chanute Field in 1941 when they first began training support personnel. And he ended up as a warrant officer out in the Pacific with somebody else. He deserted us. But anyhow, there are about 16,000 people who were classified as documented original Tuskegee Airmen. And 932 of those folks completed the Advanced Flying Training Program at Tuskegee. Another group, totaling up to about 996, received wings as liaison pilots flying spotter planes for field artillery and as basic flight instructors. But of the 932, 355 pilots went overseas. Those are what are referred to as the red-tail pilots. So in essence, all red-tail pilots are Tuskegee Airmen, but not all Tuskegee Airmen are red-tail pilots. Now of the 355 that went over, 80 were killed overseas, 32 were prisoners of war, and 17 were evadees. That is, they went down, but they evaded capture. You don't hear much about them. They don't get the publicity. One of them I know was fighting with the Free French, and others had some harrowing experience. One of my classmates shot down the plane that shot down his wingman who went overseas with me. And he was down by ground fire because they were on strafing missions. He bailed out. He was picked up by partisans in Yugoslavia, and they got him into an airplane, and he managed to get back to the base the same day. Well, by the time he got back to the base, the rest of the flights had completed their critique and gone back to the bivouac area. So he went and finished his critique, and he went on back to the bivouac area. He was happy to get back. But when he got back to his tent, everybody was trying on his clothes.